Ooby-doo! It's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast. Today we're going to be looking at the Canon lens FD 28mm 2.8 Canon lens made in Japan. This is a NFD type where it doesn't have the silver ring, where when you put it on, I might as well demonstrate. See, with these adapters you got to put it in the open position. Then you push this button here and then it just pops off. And then you align this red dot with the notch on top. There's a little red dot there too. Click, you're done. Then you move it to the lock position, and then the lens will stop down. Can you see that lens stopping down in there, the aperture? So it looks like it goes all the way down to f22. Let's look at this. f22. Oh, half f stops. Cool. Half f stops. It goes from infinity, and it does focus at infinity. I mean, this is a dumb adapter, but that doesn't mean it's stupid. It goes down to less than 1 foot or 0.3 meters. They all seem to do that. That's like industry standard. So this looks like it's got a lot of metal in it. I bought this a long time ago, 35 years ago or something, when I was shooting film, because I have a Canon AE1 program. And after I went to digital, I shot this once or twice, and then I never really used it much. Look at that. No backlash. No clicking, no nothing. Like I said, I might have paid, excuse me, I might have paid $50 for it back in the day used, and that was sort of like big bucks back in the 80s, 90s. But it looked brand new. And look at it. No backlash, no click, no nothing. So maybe the person who owned it before me used it sparingly and traded it in for something, and then I come along and I pick it up, and I have it all these years. It's hard to find these used ones. They all have this backlash. There's some plastic bearings in there that supposedly wear out, and then they do that. But that's neither here nor there. Of course, I got this giant lens hood, and you know what? On the crop center, it doesn't vignette. The corners are nice and clean and sharp, because a 28mm is more like let's see, what's 28? Half of 28 is 14, right? And 14 and 28, that's 42. So it's like a slightly wide normal lens in 35mm land. So it's on the venerable Sony A5000, excellent camera. They're plentiful and reasonably inexpensive if you shop around. And I put a lens hood on it, so I could see. It's got a huge screen, and you focus really precisely, and this completely blocks out all the light, so you don't get the washed out effect. And what did I do? I went to the POMPTON car show, which is on Wanacue Ave, which is their main street where all the stores are, and they blocked it off for like a half a mile or something, or less than a mile, and they just stuffed it full of classic cars, and it was really nice. I got there just when it opened, and it got crowded really quick. Of course, so I did some crowd scenes. I include them in my shooting of the cars. It's an excellent, super sharp lens. Of course, Canon, Pentax, and Nikon, they were vying with each other to see who they could outdo each other. And believe it or not, they're all about the same, that I could say. None of them are crappy, and they're on the excellent side. I don't have a Nikon 28 2.8. I'm not going to get one, but I would imagine they're just as good. So I could highly recommend this lens, or even the Pentax SMCM 28 2.8. So, but depending whether you're a Canon guy or a Pentax guy, get the one that you feel you're more comfortable with. But I did this. I have these two lenses, even though I got them a long time in the film days. But I got these lenses, and I'm doing these comparisons. The Pentax 28 2.8 is a separate video, and you can always watch it after this one. Of course, if you're a Canon guy, maybe you won't. And conversely, if you're a Pentax guy, generally they're just going to watch the Pentax one. But, it's the same car show, His pictures are similar but not exact. The sun is higher up on one and the other, so that changed a little bit. And, well, you decide. I think they're both equal. This one had a slightly warmer look. The Pentax had a slightly cooler look. I had the camera set up exactly the same, so that's out of the picture. But you can't go wrong. Check out the slideshow. You decide. This car is from Russia. I forget what the name is. Maybe it's an innie. Yeah, it's an innie. So, you know, you can walk up to people and say, well, do you have an innie or Audi? And then if they say, what are you talking about? You say, well, innies are cars made in Russia, and Audis are cars made in Germany. So you have an innie or an Audi. See if you ask a woman that and end up in HR, right? Because there's no sense of humor in America anymore. So this is the Pompton Lakes Car Show. I don't know, it's the 5th or 6th, 7th annual, I forget. It's the first time I've been there. And they blocked off the street, Wanacue Ave, where all the stores are. Like fully a third of them are empty. And some stores, you know, I go there every 6 weeks to see what stores failed and what stores are opening up. And it's like ethnic eateries, thrift stores, antique stores. There is a hardware store. But then there's nail salons and barber shops and tattoo parlors. And that's what the main streets are. Anyone wants to buy something, they go on the highway to a big box store or the mall, or they buy online. So all these main streets they're pretty obsolete. But they're a good venue for like car shows and street fairs, without a doubt. And this is the Canon NFD 28mm f2.8, and it's a fine lens, super sharp, low distortion, excellent IQ. I used a lens hood, of course, because all these Canon FD lenses, they all had a critical angle, where if the sun was right at that critical angle, you'd get flare balls galore and all sorts of contrast wipeout. Now you could use that creativity, create in a creative way, and I've done that before. But you know, I'm a Canon guy, and I gotta admit, those Canon lenses, they were flare beasts compared to like Pentax or even Nikon. Well, I don't know what to think. All I know is you buy a FD lens, get yourself a nice lens hood, and you'll be happy you did. Let's see, it was sunny that day, but it was chilly at night. And when I got there, it was chilly. I was just wearing a t-shirt and a wide brim hat. So when it was chilly in the shade, I stepped into the sun. Oh, there's a couple of Trump signs there. I didn't see any Comrade Cami signs though. So I don't know what to think about that. But when I got chilly, I stepped in the sun, and the sun was strong. And then when I got too hot, I stepped back in the shade, and I sort of went back and forth like that. Now in the morning when I got there, just before it officially opened up at 10 o'clock, there weren't too many people around, so I was able to get some wide-angle shots of all cars and you know, walk around and up and down the strip once or twice or three times and get the pictures I wanted. But then when I switched to the other lens, which has got its own video, oh, the crowd really poured in, and it made it difficult to get like a wide shots of cars without too many people in it. So I had to incorporate the crowd into my photos on the second half of this photo shoot, which is a standalone video of its own. But there's acres of chrome, acres and acres of chrome, immaculate, pitless, mirror finish chrome. My God. Here's one of those thrift stores I was talking about. I wish I had a girlfriend who could wear clothes like that, but I don't. This used to be a boot store across the street, and it was empty for a while, and now I think it's some sort of bodega or something. And that's just the way America is changing. And not only were there classic American cars there, there's a lot of newer cars, there were foreign cars. There's a whole mishmash of types and models and years. And, you know, it was just a cool place to go. And it was free. Now, the guys pay to enter because they get a trophy and all that stuff. And I guess it was some sort of donation thing to for veterans or something. Oh, there was bikes there. Here's an electric bike, it looks like. I don't know if that was part of the show or not.
Oh, the chrome. I love chrome, especially when it's all glinting and brilliantly lit. And this guy, he went and bought all this new chrome, and then I guess he didn't have money for a paint job. I like when a light color car is parked next to a dark color car, and in a deep mirror finish of the dark car, you can see a light color car reflecting in its finish. This is probably the original radiator cap, and the guy probably sent out a hit of chrome, and that's why it looks all pitted. Ford. It looks like somebody hand painted the Ford in that hubcap. That's what it looks like to me. And all the cars, a lot of them had gimmicks. Like I said, October is close to Halloweeny. I saw a lot of skeletons, and then there's stuffed animals. And, it's just something interesting besides just a car. It adds something to it. See, the guy's got dice on his the old-fashioned stem door lock. Some of these interiors are immaculate and they look totally original. Where do these cars come from? Oh, it's an Impala. You know. Now, check out this tree in the B picture. And I was across the street, and so look, you could see detail. That's nice. It's a telephoto lens, and here's the beginnings of the crowd starting to get in the way. And here's another stuffed animal. You know, the people must wipe down their engines all the time. I like to dissect cars too. Not only do I like to take pictures of them, but I like to take weird angles and uh, details. And a lot of guys had these vents put into their hoods, and I don't know if you could buy the hood like that or you got to have it sent out and done. That must have cost big bucks, I think. Look at this weird car with those doors. Wow. Everyone's popped their hood. You want to win a trophy, you got to pop your hood in your trunk, so the judges could look and see if you got any dirt and grime, and that's how you get best in class. Old Yeller with flames. Oh, chrome! I love chrome. And these headlamp housings, and they're all chromed out, funhouse mirror type looking situation. This lens is super sharp. It is distortion free. Well, low distortion. For 20 millimeters, very low distortion. In general picture taking, it performs admirably except for that one angle where it flares out. Of course, I did have, like I said, a lens hood on it, and I think that helps a lot for all these old-time lenses because, the coatings, had earlier technology, and they may have some slight dust in them, and a slight dust, here's some more skeletons, will contribute to flare. Now, I stopped on the f8, and I didn't see too many sun stars. Some lenses, you get a lot of sun stars from the diaphragm. And you know what? The more you stop down, the more diffraction you get, and that makes the lens get actually softer. Oh, your depth of field expands, but it's a thing where nowhere is it sharp and nowhere is it out of focus, so it's like that. More funhouse mirror, chrome. Yeah, there I am, a funhouse mirror guy. Oh, I love these old cars. And a lot of these cars I seen when I was a kid, since I'm a boomer, and all the cars from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, well, they were around when I was a kid. And you walk down the street and think nothing of them. And now they're sort of rarities, and you got to go to car shows to see them. And here's another, see that interior, how excellent that was, immaculate? Wow. I like insignias too. Some of them are aftermarket, some of them are from the factory. Oh, there's a line of red cars. Red, black, red. They have like kids make paintings and they put them up on this fence along the street. So I can see it's getting more crowded. It's just cool. It's in New Jersey. It's a big thing. It's a car-centric state. The Mass transit isn't that well developed, so you need a car to get from here to there. Nothing's really walkable, especially since all the main streets closed down and there are only specialty stores now. Oh, here's two blue cars stuck together. Back in the olden days, they used to paint the rims the same color as the car. They don't do that anymore. Here's a vet. So this is a great lens. I highly recommend it. You should really go out and get one. You won't be disappointed at all. Canon 28mm f2.8 NFD. Now the companion video will be posted soon after this one, and that's the Pentax SMC 28 2.8 for comparison.